Hi everybody and welcome.
How did you hear about this?
My mom actually gave it for my birthday.
Really? What we're gonna work on?
So I thought we could talk about maybe my relationship to dreaming, in a sense of lucid dreaming, being awake while you dream, and also lucid dreaming in the day. So
Close your eyes and notice if this feels right.
Who do we go next?
Moritz.
Go. Great. Moritz, are you here?
yes.
Great. There's the short
Hi.
and the long. Hi.
Hi.
Great. Welcome into the middle.
Do you know any people here? Do you have any friends here? From
Yes.
like you before?
I met a lot of people actually.
But like before you came, did you know anyone?
Oh no,
Really?
no.
How did you hear about this?
My mom actually gave it for my birthday.
Really?
Perfect opportunity.
Really?
Wow.
That's a
Happy
fun-
birthday.
Thanks.
That's a fun birthday present.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I
Isn't
love
it?
it.
Yeah. Well, we both love having you here,
Yeah.
Thank you.
so we can have you in the middle.
Yeah, let me just get rid of the fields.
So, what we're gonna work on?
So I'm interested in dreaming. Yeah, it's a topic that interests me since a lot of years already, and it's dreaming and it's immersion, like inner immersion, right? And I thought we could talk about maybe my relationship to dreaming, and to clarify, not only dreaming in a sense of sleeping at night and dreaming, but also in a sense of lucid dreaming, being awake while you dream, and also lucid dreaming in the day. So because most of the day you actually are dreaming, and especially I want to talk about maybe my relationship with listening to music and to be immersed in dreaming while listening to music.
What kind of music you listen to?
I listen to trance music, which is electronic subgenre, and I listen to film music, piano music, and in general more experimental and underground music, I think.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Thanks.
And what would be an ideal outcome of this time that we have here together for you?
Maybe to check how maybe the habit is not, to check how spread it is, if other people also have it, or if it's something that I have it myself more, or it's less spread, because I don't know, like if other people also do it or not do it, right? And maybe to find out a problem, which I didn't know before in Edge, right?
Well, so I haven't met in my short life anyone in your age group that had that interest. So you're the first.
Thanks. Well,
So I don't think this is a very common thing.
but you have met people in an older age group, you're suggesting, or did you
Who are
have met?
interested in all of this?
Yes.
Yeah, like me.
Oh,
Yeah.
what
me.
is your connection to it, maybe?
To what?
To dreaming?
This is a dream. We are not really here, we're just dreaming we are here.
Yeah.
And if I run into a really, really problem in the world, then I think, and I don't know anymore what to do, then I think I'm just dreaming this and I work with it as if it was just a night dream.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the dream world. Yeah. A lot. And I love music, and music helps me a lot to access. Wow.
I also believe that if you have a daydream about something, that's already enough. You needn't realize that in consensus reality. If you do nothing your whole life, then lying on a couch and daydreaming about all the things that you could do, or if you get up and actually do them in real, makes no difference to me. Why are you laughing?
No, it is kind of true.
These are two separate realities, and they're separate realities, meaning they're parallel universes. Mm-hmm. You live in one and you can live in both. You live a little bit in both.
Yeah, you can also, or you can also take yourself into the other universe, because I feel sometimes when I'm like in a dream that, like, I imagine it like I'm a blue ghost going to the sky, right? Uh-huh. But I'm not free. Like, I'm still having a line which is connected to my body, because I can always go back, and I don't feel like I'm separated. Maybe when I'm dead, I feel like, okay, this line is cut and I'm separated, right? But that's how I feel. And I also feel sometimes, like, depending on what outfit I wear, is also like what I dream of. Like, when I dream of myself, kind of, then I have the same outfit mostly on, which I have in real life. And if I make a movement, like, I mean, I'm not going through the streets like this, or, you know, but if I would make a movement, then it's also, or I can also make a movement and in the dream also do the same movement, right?
Beautiful.
And it's like,
that's cool. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a book from the person who developed process work. It's called Dreaming While Awake. Dreaming While Awake?
Yeah.
Is it Mendel?
Yeah. Did you read it?
I didn't read this one.
Take a look at Dreaming While Awake.
Okay.
So you said maybe I can discover I have a problem. You don't have a problem.
Thanks, but maybe I have in a different area. I don't know.
So say a few things about your life, like your everyday life.
Okay. So I think a few interesting hints, or not hints, but would be I'm extremely, how to say, when you want to walk to some point and you don't know where it is, right? Uh-huh. Then you kind of can either ask someone or look it up, right? Uh-huh. And you can remember the way. Uh-huh. I just forget the word, but I'm extremely bad at it. When I walk somewhere.
Direction.
Yeah, direction.
Me too.
Geographic.
Finding your sense of direction.
Yeah, and
I'm sure someone has seen me try to go through this black door on the side. I can never find my way.
Yeah, me neither. I can walk like the same, like I can walk and then 5 minutes I want to walk back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's play with that.
Okay.
What do you think?
Shall
we play with that?
Yeah, love it.
Okay, so here comes a task for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the room, maybe in the what's it called, in the space here that is lit. Stroll around and notice how you feel till you feel the right spot for you. And your body will tell you this is the right spot.
Okay. Yeah.
Take your time. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So just stay there and make space for noticing that that's the right spot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
How is it the right spot? Is your body, you also feel it's the right spot?
I still like it.
Close your eyes and notice if this feels right. How's it going?
And I thought, if I stay here all the time, it will feel like I'm kind of not part of the circle. Mm-hmm. Because maybe it's a more safe position to observe, but it's not. Like, I imagine that you two are talking to the group, and then I think I would feel not part of the group if I'm staying here, right?
Oh, okay. You like to be part of the group?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's get to become part of the group. Part of the group.
I love you being part of the group.
Thanks.
Really great. Yeah.
So then I would say, if it was me, I would say, so now you know this about me. I like dreaming and I like being in dream space. I like altered space with music. I like to go all the way up. And then I have a little string that goes down. And do you guys think I'm weird, or what do you think? I wonder, like, if there's other people who have something like that, or...
I like you.
Say again?
Thank you.
I like you.
Thank you.
For what?
You have a special atmosphere around you for me. And it's really touching me.
You have a special energy. Now I'm dreaming into this spaceship. You have a special energy because we are used to people saying, I'm here, I want to go there, and I have this goal, and I don't, this is my issue, so I can reach the goal. No? And my life is about reaching the goal.
That's
And,
great.
And it's beautiful and amazing to see someone who says, no, for me, I'm in the dream and the spaces that music creates. And,
It's true.
and that uses imagination,
Yeah.
not just like watching Netflix, but has his own imagination of where to go and what to do, something like this.
Yeah.
I got really passionate by when you spoke about lucid dreams. So I was sleeping and I had the sensation that somebody entered into the room, but it was somehow real. I mean, I could notice the, how to say it, it's not the corridor, but like the wind or the air moving. I could notice the fresh air, so I really noticed it physically. So I had this moment where I was not sure if it was a dream or somebody, I mean, this...
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. So
Yeah, that's.
Thanks
I
for
think it's
bringing-
amazing. Yeah. It's, You can. Yeah, you can really. Like I also experience sometimes that I'm not like. I think it's really hard if I know I'm in the dream, then to control it. That's like the thing lucid dreamers are trying to work to. I think to really be like, okay, I decide what's gonna happen. But I think that's really hard because I always wake up then. But I also have mostly that I experience it and really real also. Like it's, and then I don't have the option to control it. But when I wake up, I know it's like it was a dream, and I remember it, and it has feelings like which I haven't felt in life also before. Like it's you can. I think it's insane, and you can also feel movements you are not able to do. Like you can fly. That's like the classic, right? But it's incredible. I think, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. I love that.
For me, it was beautiful the way you described like this thread when you're up there, and the thread that links you with your like worldly self. For me, it was really beautiful. It touches something of my life myth, of somewhere where I'm trying to go, and the way you just like did that beautiful picture, it was like really beautiful.
Thank you. How do you feel? Like, do you have a experience where you kind of connect that, or how did that touch you?
It's more regarding the fact that I think part of the work that I'm doing with myself is trying to be in a place where I am both connected with the what's up there or what's everywhere and being here at the same time, not having to
Yeah.
choose between one and the other. And the
Yeah.
fact that you described the fact of being in both places and linked, for me, was really precious.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, cool. That's really nice. Try to listen to music while you do that. I think it's like the enhancement for it. And I also realized that when I walk, like I really like to do walks in the park, in a forest, at a field or something, and then listen to music and walk, because also when you're dreaming, like motion, like motion, emotions, and visualizing is the most active parts in the brain, like while you're dreaming. So when you're in the day listening to music, it is very much touching you often. Depends on what music you're listening. And it's also motion. And when you also walk, it enhances. And then you kind of do the visualization part on your own. So then you can see, okay, this is actually like, it's not just saying, okay, there's big energy, but it actually is there. Like a lot of difference in saying and then really feeling it and experiencing it.
I hear you. Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, I think you're a researcher, and I think you have a special gift by seeing these energies and dreaming into them. And I think the reason is you're not here to find the problems, but to discover that gift and get support for that gift and get support for continuing your research. I'm very impressed by how you say, I've tried this and I'm trying this and I'm researching this and I'm experimenting with this. And I thought, in case you ever, do you ever take notes of some of the stuff? And I think the more research is being done in that area, the better.
Amazing.
So my support, I don't know if it's advice, but my support for you is all these things that you just mentioned, try them out. And I think you will feel, it's like feeling the spot there, this is the right spot. Try it out, experiment with it, and then you think, music, okay, let's try a little longer, you know, and then...
And maybe I want to, then I feel myself, I want to, like, I really, like, as I said, I have a little scene which I'm also into, and I think I know, like, the great people, then I think it's really, really great, but I'm having a hard time actually doing it myself, and I'm having a hard time being happy with that also, right? Because I'm feeling that because I listen to it also, that's not something which surprises me, then I'm not surprised by what I make because I know what greater stuff there is out, right? And so I'm having a hard time being happy with what I produce, and sometimes I'm getting in a mood or situation where I can listen to it and be like, this is great, like I don't need to do anything else, but then...
But often you're not happy with it.
Yeah, often I'm not happy with it. That's okay, right? And then
that's okay.
Maybe should put it down and be like, okay, I'm going to focus on something else now. That's how I did it.
I heard a
go
quote.
Back. What?
I was just going to say, I heard a quote a long time ago: "An artist's work is never complete; it's merely abandoned." Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's true. And a lot of times.
Well, if the dreamer in you, who is organizing Moritz, if he gets interested in something, even if you're not happy, he'll eventually will get you back to it.
How do you mean?
Well, you didn't come on this planet and thought, okay, what am I going to do here? How about studying lucid dreaming? That sort of, you noticed that was an interest and you discovered that and it pulled you in.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
It wasn't like when you looked at a career book,
no.
You said, okay, so there is like car mechanic is one, you know, and then dentist would be another one.
No? Lucid dreamer,
Lucid dreamer, okay. Let's see, like, what are these salaries so I can make a decision? But you found yourself there. So that's, in process work, we call that the dreaming part, right? So we use a special, it's the energetic part.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much at this point about, does it make me happy? Should I continue or not? Just follow what you've been doing. Enjoy yourself, hang out with people that support you. I don't know how many of you in your life struggled with something and you thought it's a little weird, and then one person, or even like, forget the group, one person came and said, no, that's really cool what you're doing. I love what you're doing, keep going. How many of you think back and they had someone like that that helped?
That's
So
a huge
that's
one.
an important part.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you so much.
And I love how meticulous you are, how detailed, and how you use your awareness for all of this. I think you're like a self-taught dream practitioner. It's really, really amazing and beautiful.
I love it. I was even thinking, I don't know if this is too tripped out, but when you were saying in a lucid dream you could be able to control the dream. And then as you were just talking and Max was saying, well, the Moritz in you will go and do the thing. And then I thought, maybe this is also a lucid dream and you are doing that. You're controlling it by following your interest in doing it.
That would be really tripped out, I think, but yeah, I think that's worth a try, I think, yeah.
So I have to say one more thing. So I think the one thing I have to say is, I don't know if you guys followed that. So if you have a very strong consensus reality orientation system, yeah, like if you can find your way through everything, or you know, like the landscape, you can find it, and you know exactly, you walk to the toilet once and then you know how to get there. That's a strength that you have. And I think that allows you, or frequently goes together with strategic thinking, long-term planning, like startups usually have one or two people that are very good with directions and orientation, because they sort of feel the whole thing and where they could go, and they see, no, there's a side road. But then visionaries are following something else. They're following like energetic lines, you know. They're following like, there was a whole movement in the 60s, I think was started in France about, but like it went all back into archaeology of like when people had like these energy fields in the earth, and you follow these energy streams in the earth or whatever. There's a different type of orientation. You follow energy. So that's a gift. So I think you are not able, or what you think is a problem because you can't orient yourself. It's not true. You just orient yourself according to energies and not according to like outer things. And that's going to take time in your life to trust that. And to realize, yeah, I'm following a different path, and I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to follow that, and that's the right one for me. In the meantime, you guys, okay, get a map and follow maps, and that's a good thing too. It's not a bad thing. But you're a more marginal position. That's why at times you feel like isolated.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
I have a question.
Please.
Also to Moritz, don't you think you can switch these kinds? I mean, these are different kind of worlds. You're switching worlds, and I think it's probably possible also to learn to orientate in this kind one, and you immediately can switch to the other one and orient yourself to other things. I mean, I think it's worth to try to mix it. That's the thing I would like to tell you.
Wait, okay, I'm not sure if I understood that correctly, but I want to hear it now.
So here is the two worlds that are present. Well, here is a Chinese position. The Chinese position says balance happens over time. Yin yang is not gray. It's black, and it turns all black, and then once it's all black, it starts to move into white. So balance is something that happens over time. So I'm in a position right now where I'm looking for support for this particular thing. And then over here is a more Eurocentric thing who says, yeah, but couldn't it be valid for you in this world to balance that between the two sides. I don't know if that's what you meant, but there's an ability to be in both sides.
Yeah, probably. Could be a picture for that.
Oh, I would want to say something back on this side. I'd say, well, actually, that world is getting a lot of support, so I don't need support to learn about certain things in the everyday world, because a lot of people do. But it's harder to focus on non-consensus reality worlds because so few people do it. I already feel I'm strange.
Yeah, but how are you going to pay the rent?
Yeah, good question.
Those
right?
questions are not good
Did you
for
say
me,
good
right?
question?
Good question in terms of valid question. Yeah, I have to think about it also, but
See, this is perfect. Now look at this. This is now you have to look at this. Now, money? Well, yeah. Yeah. I have to look at that.
yeah,
So, no. It's not like, no, money doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, and then there's money. But you have to remember, when Isaac Newton got prize for or an interview for his whatever 80th or 90th birthday or whatever, the interviewer said, "So, Sir Newton, how does it feel to have developed at that time physics, right? At the modern physics and modern science, how does it feel to be the father of a whole mindset and a science and a way of thinking?" And Newton said, "I never developed physics. I was just a kid on a pond playing with pebbles." And people think he was joking, but he wasn't. You know? So there's a creativity in what you're doing. There's a creativity. And the balance eventually will come. You don't have to worry at this point.
yeah.
Amazing.
Now, there's a whole other issue. Can you do both? That is an individual issue for everyone. So for some of us, we are naturally balanced. For some of us, we're more into this realm. And then for some of us, we are more grounded.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Enjoy.
Max and Moritz.
Thank you. Max and Moritz.
Nice.
All right, thank you so much.
How about two questions?
Space work, sorry, and it really resonates a lot. Thank you. You asked him to focus on the body, and I'm curious to know why the body was important in this moment.
In my mind, process work has bring two powerful innovation into psychology that weren't there before. Can you follow this? So the idea of a night dream and a body symptom, the dream body, I thought that was new. It doesn't say there's a body-mind connection. It says actually our experiences are physio-psychological. It's one thing. And our dreams, what you dream at night, is a bio-psycho experience. But I think was Moritz, he did come up with a dreaming thing. And the dreaming aspect is if I'm back there, I'm not part of the group. So out of that came, I actually need the group for this, and I need the group support.
There are two things, process work, brought.
Oh yeah, and I didn't say the second.
What is the second?
Yeah, so the second is the idea that there are three ways of awareness, three levels. So one is consensus reality. So consensus reality is the reality that we all agree with. And consensus reality is not a term that comes from Prost's work.
Charles Tart.
It is Charles.
That's right,
Tart.
from Charles Tart. So the idea is we agree. Reality is what we can agree on. What we can agree on has to be measurable, right? For example, we can agree on how many people sit here when we count them. Then I can say, well, I think in here are 38 people. And then you can say, no, I think there's 39. And say, no, we can prove it. Count, have 5 people count it and see this is the proof at 39. So that would be consensus reality, right? And then we can say there's a certain space between us, like from here to Xenia is like 6 meters. Then there's a second reality, which is subjective, right? So I can say, I don't know, I felt this morning something happened and a lot of people sort of like went somewhere else.
Oh.
And then you say, really? No, I thought people were very present. I said, no, I thought only half were present. You said, no, well, I know there's a couple of people that looked absent, but more. So now we're having a subjective discussion, how many people were actually energetically in the room. You follow this? This you can't measure anymore. It's subjective because it depends on the perception of the individual. So diversity, a lot of diversity issues are about confusion between those two levels. And then Prosser works in there's a third level that has something to do with the essence. It's sort of like the core or the deeper aspect. So, for example, he in a sense worked with deeper, non-realistic question about what is life about and who are we and why are we here and what are we doing here. And not in terms of, well, you have the right for a life expectancy of 80 years in which you follow the normal thing, which means you're a child, then you become, you have an initiation, you become a teenager, then you have initiation, you become a heterosexual person, where you then have heterosexual children who then grow up and marry. In the meantime, you become a grandmother and you look at that, and there's a train station, right? Birth, school, marriage, children, parents, grandparents, and these are like things, this is like consensus reality, and the majority of that is somehow going through it. But what we don't see is while the majority is going through it, they're actually on completely different paths. You see, like a married couple doesn't mean anything. You agree? Because no married couple is the same. There's like 2 individual life myths that mingle and create something, whatever, and then there's 2 non-married couple, all of this, they don't really mean anything. Other consensus reality gives us categories that we can sort of sort these roles into. So that's what we call this, like a role theory, and that's rotational. So I think this morning, what basically I thought Moritz was saying is, I have a special interest in the dreaming realm, and I want to become more confident in moving around in the dreaming world. And in a way, he was both teaching, did you notice? But also learning. And then, of course, on the outside, everybody here is interested in dreaming. You are tempted to make suggestions of how to do it. No? And of course, and me of course too, at the same time, we don't know. He has his own path. And it's a mystery. And I've never met anyone like Moritz before, but the truth is I never met anyone like every single one of you. No? And you've never met anyone like the other people in here. So.
That was fantastic for me.
What part?
Well, I can't say again because of the way it came out of you, but it explained to me, each of our different life paths in relation to consensus reality, but then we each have our own dream path, and then underlying is all these existential questions about what we're doing here, and the way that this all came together in this helped me really to orient myself in terms of the world that we live. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, what we're doing here is nothing. No?
I think it's everything.
What?
It's everything what we do here.
Yeah, that's what I said. we had in the Process Work Center of Portland, we had this visit of, the Process Center of Portland was connected to Zen monastery in Japan, and we had a visit of the abbot of the Rinzai sect. That's a big deal, you know, like in Zen, there are two basic directions, Rinzai and Soto. It's sort of like Catholic and Protestant, right? And then Rinzai, the abbot of the Rinzai sect is sort of like the Pope in Japan. It's a big deal. So he came and he does calligraphy. So calligraphy is spontaneous, you know, it's spontaneity. You just have a free mind and you just practice letting it all out as it spontaneously wants. So, and then there were like two things that he came and visited and he showed his calligraphy, and then people asked questions, and two things stayed with me for the rest of my life, you know. So the first one was a student said, "So Roshi, what happens when you die?" And he said, "When you die, then that's it." I thought it was pretty cool. And then the second was, he told this story. He said, "I'm just coming from the East Coast, on the American East Coast, and I took a morning hike on the beach." Now this one took me years to figure it out fully. I'm still working on it. He said, "I took a walk on the beach at 6 o'clock in the morning. There wasn't barely anyone on the beach yet. And there was this guy sitting there in a lounge chair that he brought. And he had a ghetto blaster next to him with music, you know, these little portable things. Mm-hmm. On this side, and on this side, he had a 6-pack of beer. And then he had a fishing rod, and the fishing line went into the ocean. And then he said, I looked at him, and I was very touched by that Zen, right? And I said, "What are you fishing for?" And the guy said, "Nothing." And then the Roshi said, and I said, "Me too." Then it said, I walked back and I came back and he was still sitting there listening to the music, his beer can and the rod. It was an hour later. He said, so I went over him and I gave him my card, right? Honorable Roshi Master Abbot Rinzai Sect, Japan, Professor Fukushima, etc. I said, I'm giving the card, and he said, I'm a Zen master from Japan. And the guy took the card. He said, I walked a few steps, I turned around, and the guy took the card and threw it. Zen. It's a great Zen story, you agree? A great Zen story. So, belongs somehow into this whole thing, like, then there is the rent. Then there is the rent. That is other stuff.